What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we are checking out the Bilstein B8 5100 series rear shock for 0 to 1 inches of lift, fitting all 2015 and newer two-wheel drive F-150s. Now, if you have been experiencing any worn shock symptoms in the back of your truck, like sagging and acceleration, excessive bounciness, and loss of control in the rear, this shock is going to be a great choice to look into. This specific option will be for the F-150 owner who has a stock height truck or has up to 1 inches of lift in the rear and wants some better control and performance compared to their factory ones. These will also be great for more durable use than just street driving if you are doing a little bit more with your truck than staying on road. If you're going off road on the work site, hauling or towing with your truck, and you're looking for a shock that's going to not only offer responsiveness but also a long lifespan, this is going to be a great choice for you. This will have a monotube gas charged design, which will offer some stiffer performance for reduced bounce and more control while you're driving. That design will also allow more heavy duty abuse without jeopardizing the lifespan, thanks to the reduction in cavitation or aeration, which is just bubbles or air forming in the shock, which usually causes shock fade over time, and that may be something that you're experiencing with your current setup. They'll also have something called velocity sensitive digressive valving, which essentially allows the shock to adapt to the terrain. So it will soften up a bit when the piston's moving faster for higher speed off-road driving, allowing for a more comfortable experience. And when it's moving at lower speeds like on-road, it's going to be a little bit stiffer for more control and less body roll. That's going to allow you for a very comfortable and adaptive experience in your F-150. Now this will have a 46mm alloy shock body for good durability and heat dissipation, and will be zinc plated with a clear coat on top to prevent any rusting or corrosion on the metal. It will also have a chrome hardened 14mm piston rod underneath here, being able to take some tough abuse while avoiding any leaking, but it will have that extra layer of protection with the included rubber boot that is actually pre-installed right out of the box. Now it's also going to include neoprene rubber bushings at either end that are going to provide a better lifespan compared to factory and will help when it comes to that feel, especially if your current ones are worse for wear. I do want to mention though, what you see on the table is what you get out of this kit. This is only going to come with one shock, so keep that in mind while you're checking this out. As far as pricing is concerned, this is going to come in at about $150 per shock, and you'll be looking at about double that for a pair if you do want to change out both rear shocks. Now the 5100 series is one of the higher performance options in the category thanks to its longer lasting build and the features that come with it compared to other entry-level choices, but it does keep it very reasonable if you don't need a super high performance option. The digressive valving will give you the best of both worlds when it comes to performance, and this is a shock that's not going to completely break the bank, making it a solid option for your F-150. Now, install for this is going to be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. I would say a lighter 2. I would recommend a little bit of mechanical know-how in order to tackle this job, but it should only take you about an hour with the right experience and setup, and you'll be looking at about double that for 2 of these. Now, speaking of the install though, one of our customers has installed these on their F-150 and is going to walk us through the install step by step. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be doing a Bilstein 5100 shock replacement on a 2017 Ford F-150. Fairly simple install. Tools you're going to be needing is a torque wrench. The specs at least up to 65 pounds because that's what you're going to want the shocks to be at. You're going to need yourself a 18 millimeter to actually get that bottom bolt off and upper bolts off over there. You can use a socket for this, or you can use an impact wrench, which is what I'm using just because it's a little bit faster to do that. And then you're going to need a crescent wrench as long as it goes up to an 8 millimeter. So fairly simple. You're going to have to take off this top bolt right here and bottom bolt right here. And this first one right here on my truck specifically is a 22 millimeter. And then this outside bolt right here is going to be that 18 millimeter that we talked about, the socket you're gonna need. So, yep. And you're gonna wanna take off this bottom one right here first, because it's easier to have this hang right here when you're replacing it. And so you can have it hang while it's compressed for a little bit easier of an install. Because if you take off the top, it's gonna just come off, and it's just gonna be a lot harder to put on the new one and take this one off. So if you guys do have a impact wrench like I do, it makes it a little bit easier and faster. Just gonna get yourself that 18 millimeter socket, put that handy dandy on there. And the one I have is torqued to 90 PSI. So make sure if you are using one of these, you set your air compressor that I have hooked up over there to 90 PSI. Because if you set it too high of a PSI, it's gonna blow and it's gonna ruin your power tool. So make sure you have that. So let me show you guys. We're gonna go ahead and start on this bottom bolt right here. So you're gonna wanna get that crescent wrench on there pretty good. Make sure you have a hand on that whenever you're using this impact. So you're gonna keep a hand here. Get this on there. Let's try that again with an actual socket. So my air tool could not handle it. It's just a little Cobalt one. I'm sure if you had something more powerful, I have a bigger air drill that I could use if I wanted to, but just like that. Comes off fairly easy. So with this bolt, once you get it loose, we're not gonna wanna take it all the way off. So we're gonna get this nut on this side out, and we're gonna leave it there. Because if you take this off, this shock right here is actually gonna compress back up. Gonna compress down. So it's a little bit easier that way. Let's go ahead and finish taking this back nut off right here. Right here. That's what you're gonna wanna keep. Zoom, focus. Yes, you're gonna take this one completely off, but leave the actual bolt inside of that pin right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the air tool just to speed it up. Gonna be with the same socket. Just be a little faster for me. Okay. Like I said, don't lose these. Make sure you keep these on there. I'm sorry, keep them down here. Keep this in there, because if you take that out again, that shock is gonna shoot down and it's gonna be really hard to get out of there. So it's gonna be the same thing, just like the bottom. 18 millimeter and that crescent wrench. You're gonna wanna do this one from up here. That's gonna go right there. Let me grab the socket that we used. Take this extension off. Yeah, you can't use an extension on the top one. So you can also do it either way. If you want to put the crescent here on the outside, you can do that as well. But this bolt over here, you have to have a pretty deep socket if you were to do it that way. So I like it to do it this way. I've done a shock replacement on F250, and that's just what was easier for me at the time. Just keep your hand on it there. Just like that. And it's loose. Like I said, if you want to do the entire way, with the ratchet, you can, but if you have an air tool, I would recommend using it. And make sure this metal piece, do not lose that with it. So now we have that top one on, top one off. Make sure you leave this bolt on up here until we get this bottom one off. I'll show you guys how this compresses down once it comes off. Now that we have this bottom nut off and your top nut off there, so we're gonna want, some people can push this up to get this shock out when you pull this nut off. I like to use a little screwdriver or a little crowbar. I'm gonna show you guys what you gotta do. See how you put a little bit of, you get your hand and you put a little bit of pressure and you see it come up right there. It's gonna make it easier for you guys to pull this bottom. This one's a little bit tougher. There we go. So it's gonna be the same thing. Whenever this bolt comes out, the entire shock is gonna drop, so make sure you have a hand on it. Just like that. Make sure you hold on to these bolts. These are very important. There's our old shock. These are the new Bilstein 5100s. Great reviews, so I'm gonna test them out. And these are two bolts that go on the upper and the lower down there. And this top nut right here, on the 2017s, they have this little plating here. Make sure this one goes on the top. This other one goes on the bottom that has no plating. So next step, gonna grab your new shock, and this goes up top. So Bilstein silver goes up top and the black goes down. That is very important to how the shock works. So make sure this goes up, labeling goes up. Fairly simple, common sense. Do not cut these white tabs off. These tabs actually compress the shock, so you can actually install it. If you cut these before you install them, it'll be a pain to put in because they decompress back and it makes it much harder. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get this top in, put it up there. Doesn't matter which side, if it goes this side or this side, they're both the same. So I'm gonna grab top nut, I'm gonna put that up there with the shock and just hand tighten it to where it's on there now, because these are spec'd to 65 pound torque of the tightening. So let's go ahead and do that top one. Just like that. And I like to come under right here for this part because there's a lot more room here. So that's what that's gonna look like, just hand tighten for right now. And you're gonna wanna let the shock hang just like that. Get the screw and the bolt. You're just gonna wanna line it up with that right here. So you are gonna have to push up just a tad to get these in. So that can be fun. Let's see how fun it is, how hard it's gonna be to get in. Should be fairly simple, but again, just use your screwdriver, you put it here and you pry up just like that to pry the shock up. All right. Hard to compress it, so let's try compressing it while just like this, and then put it in there. So we have that top torque down to 65 pounds, I'm sorry. Got that torque down, so now all we gotta do is torque down the bottom one, and that's pretty much it. The other side's the exact same. There's no difference, same sizes, same shocks, same thing. Like, just pull the bolts, compress it into there, pull the screwdriver, tighten it down. It's fairly simple. So, all right, let's go ahead and torque down this bottom one for you guys, but let's get it tightened down as much as we can by hand or with the air tool, of course, so we don't have to do it the entire time save us a few minutes. Now we're gonna do the same thing at the top, just grab our wrench and our torque wrench. Where did mine go? I'm losing tools here.
So that's going to wrap it up for my review and the install of this Bilstein B8 5100 series rear shock for 0 to 1 inches of lift, fitting all 2015 and newer two-wheel drive F-150s. And you can find this right here at AmericanTrucks.com.